Waking up with that familiar feeling, a tightness in your chest, a tickle in your throat, knowing that your first task of the day will be trying to clear that persistent mucus. It's not just uncomfortable, is it? It can be embarrassing when you're out with friends or family, constantly needing to clear your throat. It can make you feel unwell, slow you down, and maybe even make you worry about what's really going on inside. You might think it's just a part of getting older, something you have to live with. But what if there are natural ways to help your body manage this better? Simple shifts in your daily routine, everyday foods you might already have in your kitchen, gentle habits that can make a real difference. It's not about masking the problem, but supporting your body's natural ability to find balance. In this video, we're going to explore some of the surprising reasons you might be dealing with this daily mucus and look at simple, natural ways you can start to feel more comfortable and breathe easier. Stick around to the very end, because there's something we'll talk about that might truly surprise you. Now, let's talk about something fundamental that plays a massive role in how your body handles mucus. And it's probably something you already know is important, but maybe not how important. It is specifically for this issue. We're talking about hydration, pure and simple, getting enough water. When you don't drink enough water, your body has to make do with what it has, and that includes the moisture needed to keep your mucus thin and flowing. Think of it like trying to move thick mud compared to moving thin soup. Your body's natural clearing mechanisms, those tiny little hairs called cilia that line your airways, work much better when the mucus they're trying to push along is thin and watery, not thick and sticky. As we get older, our sense of thirst can sometimes lessen, or we might just forget to drink as much throughout the day. We might reach for coffee or tea or juice, and while those contain water, they can sometimes have other effects that aren't quite the same as plain water when it comes to hydration for mucus. Caffeine, for instance, can be a mild diuretic, meaning it encourages your body to get rid of fluids. Sugary drinks can sometimes contribute to inflammation for some people, which isn't helpful either. So, how do you make sure you're properly hydrated in a way that helps with mucus? It's not about chugging a huge amount of water all at once, but about consistent sips throughout the day. Keep a glass or a water bottle nearby, wherever you spend most of your time. If you're watching television, have a glass next to your chair. If you're reading, have it on your table. If you're going out for a walk, take a bottle with you. Make it a habit to take a few sips every time you get up to move around, or every time you finish a small task. You can also try adding a little bit of lemon or cucumber to plain water if you find the taste a bit boring. This can make it more appealing without adding sugar or other things that might counteract the hydration benefit. Warm water can sometimes feel particularly soothing and helpful for thinning mucus immediately. Try starting your day with a warm glass of water before anything else. Another thing to consider is that certain foods also contribute to your daily water intake. Fruits and vegetables like watermelon, cucumber, celery, and strawberries are packed with water and can be a delicious way to boost your hydration. Paying attention to the color of your urine is a simple, non-invasive way to gauge your hydration levels. If it's consistently pale yellow, you're likely doing well. If it's darker, it's a sign you need to drink more. It's not something we often think about in relation to mucus, but chronic, even mild. Dehydration really does make that mucus thicker and harder for your body to clear. Imagine your airways are like a riverbed, and the mucus is the river. If there's plenty of water flowing, everything moves smoothly. If the water level drops, the river becomes sluggish and debris starts to build up. Staying well hydrated helps keep that river flowing properly. Beyond just plain water, herbal teas can be a wonderful addition. Teas like peppermint or ginger tea, for example, can not only contribute to your fluid intake, but also have properties that can help soothe the throat and potentially loosen mucus. Just be mindful of adding lots of sugar or milk, as those can sometimes have the opposite effect for some individuals. The warmth of the tea itself can also be comforting and temporarily help thin mucus. Now, another big factor that many people find contributes to excessive mucus, especially that thick, persistent kind, is linked to certain foods. One of the most common culprits for many, though certainly not everyone, is dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, for some individuals. These can seem to make mucus thicker and more bothersome. It's not necessarily an allergic reaction, but more like a sensitivity where dairy products seem to increase mucus production or make existing mucus more difficult to clear. If you suspect dairy might be a factor for you, you could try a simple experiment. Eliminate all dairy from your diet for a couple of weeks and see if you notice a difference in your mucus production and how easily you can clear it. It requires a bit of reading labels, as dairy can be hidden in many processed foods, but it can be a very revealing experiment. If you do find that cutting back on dairy helps, there are so many excellent dairy-free alternatives available now. Almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, soy milk, that you can still enjoy many of the things you like. It's about finding what works for your unique body. This isn't about saying dairy is bad for everyone, but recognizing that for some people, it can specifically impact mucus. Another dietary consideration is processed sugars and highly refined foods. While not a direct cause of mucus production in the same way as dairy might be for some, these foods can contribute to inflammation in the body. And inflammation in your airways can certainly make mucus issues worse. Focusing on a diet rich in whole, unprocessed foods, plenty of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats supports overall health, including the health of your respiratory system. When your body isn't fighting inflammation caused by unhealthy foods, it can do a better job of managing things like mucus. It's about creating an internal environment where your body can function optimally. It's not just about what you eliminate, but what you add in. Nutrient-dense foods that nourish your body. Simple changes, like swapping out sugary snacks for a piece of fruit or choosing whole grains over refined white bread, can have cumulative positive effects. These might seem like small things on their own, drinking more water, being mindful of dairy, eating more whole foods, but together, they create a foundation that supports your body's ability to handle mucus more effectively. And it's these foundational habits that often have the most lasting impact. Moving on from hydration and diet, let's talk about something you can literally do to help loosen and thin mucus right in the moment you feel it building up using steam. Think about how much better you feel when you take a warm shower or bath when you have a cold. That steam helps. You can replicate this effect very simply at home. The easiest way is a steam inhalation. You don't need any fancy equipment, though personal steam inhalers are available if you prefer. A very simple and effective method is to carefully pour hot water into a bowl. Place a towel over your head, create a tent over the bowl, and gently inhale the steam for 5 to 10 minutes. Keep your face a safe distance from the hot water to avoid burns. The warm, moist air helps to hydrate the mucus in your airways, making it less sticky and easier to cough up. You can even add a couple of drops of essential oils like eucalyptus or peppermint to the water, though be cautious with essential oils and make sure they are suitable for inhalation and used sparingly. And always ensure you are not sensitive to them. Another way to incorporate steam is simply by spending time in a steamy bathroom after running a hot shower. Sit on a stool or chair in the bathroom, close the door, and just breathe deeply for 10-15 minutes. This is particularly good in the morning when mucus might be most bothersome after lying down all night. Using a humidifier in your home, especially in your bedroom at night, can also make a significant difference. Dry air, particularly during winter months when heating is on, can dry out your mucous membranes and make mucus thicker and harder to clear. A humidifier adds moisture to the air, which helps keep your mucus thin and your airways more comfortable. Just be sure to clean your humidifier regularly, according to the manufacturer's instructions to prevent the growth of mold and bacteria. Now, let's consider something else that might be contributing to that persistent throat clearing and mucus sensation. And it's something that's surprisingly common, especially as we get older, but often goes undiagnosed or is mistaken for something else: silent acid reflux, also known as LPR, or laryngopharyngeal reflux. This is when stomach acid, or even just stomach contents, come up the esophagus and irritate the throat and voice box area. Unlike traditional heartburn GERD, you might not feel that burning sensation in your chest. Instead, the symptoms can be a persistent need to clear your throat, a feeling of a lump in your throat, hoarseness, and yes, increased mucus, or a sensation of mucus stuck in your throat. This happens because the delicate tissues in the throat and larynx are much more sensitive to acid than the esophagus. Managing silent reflux often involves similar strategies to managing regular acid reflux, but with a focus on lifestyle and dietary changes that reduce the likelihood of stomach contents making their way up. Eating smaller, more frequent meals instead of large ones can help prevent the stomach from getting too full. Avoiding lying down immediately after eating is also crucial. Try to wait at least 2 or 3 hours after your last meal before going to bed. Elevating the head of your bed by about 6 to 8 inches can also be very helpful. You can do this by placing blocks or special wedges under the bedposts at the head of the bed, or by using a wedge pillow that elevates your torso, not just your head. Simply piling up pillows usually isn't effective. Certain foods are well-known triggers for reflux and are worth trying to avoid, especially in the evenings. These include acidic foods like citrus fruits and tomatoes, spicy foods, fatty or fried foods, peppermint, chocolate, and carbonated beverages. Alcohol and caffeine can also relax the lower esophageal sphincter, making it easier for acid to come up. Keeping a food diary for a week or two, noting what you eat and when your symptoms are worst, can help you identify your personal triggers. It's about finding what works for you and making sustainable changes. Sometimes, even reducing stress can help, as stress can impact digestion and reflux. Simple relaxation techniques like deep breathing or gentle stretching might be beneficial. Another often overlooked aspect is the impact of air quality in your home. Dust, pet dander, mold spores, and even strong fragrances from cleaning products or air fresheners can irritate your airways and lead to increased mucus production as your body tries to protect itself. Regularly cleaning your home. Using an air purifier with a HEPA filter and ensuring good ventilation can make a big difference. If you have pets, try to keep them out of the bedroom and wash pet bedding frequently. Avoid smoking, of course, but also be mindful of exposure to secondhand smoke. Even strong perfumes or colognes can be irritants for some people. It's about creating a breathing space that is as clean and irritation-free as possible. These environmental factors, combined with hydration, diet, steam, and managing potential reflux, form a multi-pronged approach that addresses many of the common reasons older adults struggle with daily mucus. It's not usually one single thing, but a combination of factors, and tackling them from different angles often yields the best results. So, we've talked about staying hydrated, being mindful of foods like dairy and processed sugars, the power of steam inhalation and humidifying your air, addressing potential silent reflux, and improving your indoor air quality. It might seem like a lot, but remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's about exploring these possibilities and finding what resonates with you, what feels manageable, and what starts to make a difference. This isn't about finding a magic pill. It's about supporting your body's incredible natural abilities to clear mucus and keep your airways healthy. Your body is designed to do this, and sometimes it just needs a little extra support, especially as we age. That persistent mucus isn't just an annoyance. It's your body's way of telling you that something isn't quite right, that it's working hard to clear something. Think of it this way. Your airways are like delicate pipes that need to stay clean. Mucus is necessary. It traps dust and germs. But when it gets too thick, too much, or your clearing mechanisms are sluggish, that's when you have problems. The natural approaches we've discussed, hydration, food choices, steam, managing reflux, clean air, all help keep those pipes clearer and the cleaning crew, your cilia, working more effectively. It's about nurturing your respiratory system gently. It requires patience and consistency. Just like any other positive change you make for your health, don't get discouraged if you don't see a dramatic change overnight. Small, consistent efforts add up over time. Maybe you start by just focusing on drinking more water for a week and see how you feel. Then perhaps you try adding a humidifier at night. Then you experiment with reducing dairy. It's a process of gentle exploration and listening to your own body. And that surprise I mentioned at the beginning, it's often the realization that simple, everyday habits and paying attention to seemingly small things, like how much water you drink or what you eat, can have such a profound impact on something as bothersome as daily mucus. We often look for complicated solutions, but sometimes the most effective strategies are the simplest ones, rooted in supporting our body's fundamental needs. It's empowering to know that you have agency in managing this, that there are things within your control that can bring significant relief. It's not just about stopping the cough or the mucus. It's about feeling more comfortable, more confident, and freer to enjoy your day without that constant irritation. It's about reclaiming that ease of breathing and speaking without always having to clear your throat. Remember, while these natural methods can be incredibly helpful, it's also important to listen to your body and consult with a healthcare professional if your symptoms are severe, new, or accompanied by other concerning signs like shortness of breath, chest pain, or changes in the color or amount of mucus. They can help rule out any underlying medical conditions that might need specific treatment. But for that persistent, bothersome, daily mucus, these natural approaches offer a gentle yet powerful path to finding relief and supporting your respiratory health, taking small, consistent steps towards better hydration, mindful eating, using steam, addressing reflux, and improving your environment can truly make a world of difference. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It lets us know we're providing valuable information for you, and we'd love to hear from you. Share your own experiences with persistent mucus in the comments below. What have you tried? What has helped you? Your insights can be incredibly valuable to others in this community who are dealing with the same challenges. And if you're interested in more natural tips and ways to support your health and well-being as you live your best life at every age, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We share new videos every week designed to help you feel your best, naturally. Thank you for watching. Here's to easier breathing and living your best life.